Imagine a world where you can overcome any challenge, defeat any opponent, and achieve any goal all without ever raising a fist. This isn't a fantasy. It's a reality that's within your grasp, how to destroy your enemies without fighting them. This is the ultimate path to success, the pinnacle of personal power, and I'm here to show you exactly how to do it. Now, when I say destroy your enemy, I don't mean physical destruction. I'm talking about rendering their negative influence in your life obsolete. I'm talking about rising so far above their level that they cease to be a threat. This is about personal growth, strategic thinking, and mastering the art of indirect victory. Your greatest enemy isn't out there in the world. It's not your competitor, your critic, or even that person who seems determined to see you fail. No, your greatest enemy is within you. It's the voice of doubt, the fear of failure, the habit of procrastination. These are the real enemies we need to conquer first. How many times have you been held back not by external forces, but by your own limiting beliefs? How often have you talked yourself out of taking that bold step, making that crucial decision, or pursuing that dream? These internal enemies are far more dangerous than any external foe because they have insider access. They know your weaknesses, your fears, your insecurities. So our first step in destroying our enemies without fighting is to wage an internal war. We need to root out these negative thoughts and replace them with empowering beliefs. This isn't easy, but it's absolutely essential. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to look in the mirror and say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am unstoppable. Repeat this mantra until you believe it with every fiber of your being. But positive affirmations alone aren't enough. You need to back them up with action. Start small if you need to, but start. If you've been putting off that project, take the first step today. If you've been avoiding that difficult conversation, make the call now. Every small victory over your internal enemies strengthens you for the battles ahead. External enemies. These could be competitors in business, detractors in your personal life, or anyone who seems to stand in the way of your success. The key to defeating these enemies without fighting is to change the game entirely. Don't play by their rules. Create your own. Instead of trying to tear down your enemies, focus on building yourself up. While they're busy plotting against you, invest that energy in personal growth. Read books, attend seminars, learn new skills. Every minute you spend improving yourself is a minute your enemies fall further behind. Remember, success is the best revenge. When you're at the top of your game, those who once tried to hold you back become irrelevant. They'll be so far below you that their actions and words won't even register. This is how you destroy an enemy without throwing a single punch. Let me give you an example. In the business world, I once knew a young entrepreneur who was constantly being undercut by a larger, more established competitor. This competitor had more resources, more connections, and seemed determined to drive our young friend out of business. Now, he could have engaged in a price war, tried to poach employees, or launched a smear campaign. But instead, he did something remarkable. He focused entirely on providing the best possible service to his existing customers. He invested in training his team, improving his product, and building genuine relationships with his clients. He worked tirelessly to exceed expectations at every turn. And you know what happened? His customers became his greatest advocates. Word spread about the exceptional quality of his work, and soon new clients were seeking him out. Meanwhile, his competitor was so busy trying to undermine him that they neglected their own business. Their service quality dropped, their employees became disengaged, and their customers started looking elsewhere. Within 2 years, our young entrepreneur had not only survived but thrived, while his once mighty competitor was struggling to stay afloat. This is the power of indirect combat. By focusing on excellence rather than engagement, he rendered his enemy irrelevant. He didn't need to fight, he simply needed to outperform. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but what if my enemy is actively trying to harm me? What if they're spreading lies or attempting to sabotage my efforts? This is where another powerful strategy comes into play, the art of redirection. In martial arts, there's a principle called using your opponent's energy against them. The idea is that instead of meeting force with force, you redirect your opponent's momentum to your advantage. We can apply this same principle in our daily lives. If someone is spreading rumors about you, don't engage in a war of words. Instead, let your actions speak louder. If they claim you're incompetent, respond by demonstrating your expertise. If they question your integrity, double down on your ethical behavior. Every attack they launch becomes an opportunity for you to showcase your strengths. This approach does two things. First, it undermines the credibility of your attacker. People will see the disconnect between what's being said about you and what you're actually doing. Second, it forces your enemy to constantly change tactics, keeping them off balance while you remain focused and steady. Over time, this approach can turn enemies into allies. When people see that their attacks aren't affecting you, that you respond to negativity with positivity and excellence, it can trigger a shift in their perspective. Some may begrudgingly come to respect you. Others might even seek to learn from you. I once heard a story about a politician who was constantly being attacked by a particular journalist. This journalist seemed to have a personal vendetta, always twisting the politician's words and painting them in the worst possible light. Now, the politician could have fought back, could have tried to discredit the journalist or use their influence to have them reassigned. Instead, they did something unexpected. They invited the journalist to shadow them for a week to see firsthand how they worked and what they stood for. It was a risk, but it paid off. The journalist, exposed to the reality rather than the rumors, began to see things differently. Their articles became more balanced, more fair. And in time, this former enemy became one of the politician's strongest supporters. This is the ultimate victory, not just neutralizing an enemy, but converting them to your cause. It's not easy and it won't always work, but when it does, it's far more powerful than any confrontation could ever be. An important aspect of destroying your enemies without fighting. Emotional control. Your enemies want to see you angry. They want to see you frustrated, flustered, and off balance. Why? Because when you're emotional, you're easier to manipulate. You make mistakes. You play into their hands. The ability to maintain your composure in the face of provocation is a superpower. It's like wearing an invisible armor that your enemies can't penetrate. When you respond to anger with calm, to pettiness with dignity, to manipulation with integrity, you're not just winning the battle. You're demonstrating that there's no battle to be fought. This level of emotional control takes practice. It's not about suppressing your emotions, but about choosing how to express them. When you feel that surge of anger or frustration, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, how would my best self respond to this situation? Then act from that place of wisdom rather than reaction. Over time, this practice becomes a habit. You will find yourself automatically responding to provocations with poise and grace. And let me tell you, nothing frustrates an enemy more than realizing their attacks have no effect on you. It's like throwing punches at a ghost. Eventually, they'll tire themselves out while you remain untouched. But emotional control isn't just about defense. It's also a powerful offensive tool. When you're calm and collected, you can think more clearly. You can see opportunities that others miss. You can make better decisions, form stronger alliances, and navigate complex situations with ease. Imagine you're in a negotiation with someone who's known for their aggressive tactics. They're loud, they're pushy, they're trying to intimidate you. The old you might have gotten flustered, might have backed down or lashed out. But the new you, emotionally controlled you, stays calm. You listen carefully, you respond thoughtfully, and you stand your ground without aggression. What happens next is almost magical. Your calm demeanor starts to influence the entire room. Others begin to see the contrast between your composure and your opponent's aggression. They start to view you as the more reasonable party, the one they'd rather deal with. Without throwing a single verbal punch, you've shifted the dynamics in your favor. This brings us to another crucial strategy for destroying your enemies without fighting. Building a strong network. Your network is your net worth, not just in terms of financial opportunities, but in terms of support, influence, and protection. When you have a robust network of allies, your enemies have to think twice before moving against you. It's not just about having people who will defend you, although that's certainly valuable. It's about creating a web of positive relationships that make any attack on you counterproductive for the attacker. If you're known as someone who adds value to others, who consistently supports and uplifts those around you, an attack on you becomes an attack on the entire network. Your allies will rush to your defense, not because you ask them to, but because they genuinely believe in you. Building this network takes time and effort. It's not about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections. It's about genuinely investing in relationships. Listen to people, help them achieve their goals. Celebrate their successes. Be there for them in tough times. When you consistently show up for others, they'll show up for you. You don't build this network with the explicit goal of defending against enemies. You do it because it's the right thing to do, because adding value to others adds value to your own life. The protection it offers is a natural consequence, not the primary aim. This approach to networking has another powerful effect. It leaves your enemies isolated. While you're building bridges, they're burning them. While you're creating opportunities for others, they're focused on tearing people down. Over time, they'll find themselves with fewer and fewer allies, their influence diminishing as yours grows. Some people think that destroying your enemies without fighting means being passive, means just turning the other cheek and hoping for the best. Nothing could be further from the truth. This approach requires active engagement, strategic thinking, and consistent effort. It's not about avoiding conflict. It's about transcending it. It's like playing chess when your opponent is playing checkers. They're focused on the immediate capture, on the frontal assault. You're thinking several moves ahead, setting up complex strategies and maneuvering for long-term advantage. It's not that you can't engage in direct confrontation. It's that you choose not to because you have better options. This strategic mindset is crucial. Every action you take, every decision you make should be part of a larger plan. When your enemy makes a move, don't just react, pause. Consider, how can you turn this to your advantage? How does this fit into your broader strategy often? What seems like a setback can be transformed into an opportunity if you have the vision to see it. Let me give you another example. I once knew a small business owner who was being pressured by a larger company to sell his business. This larger company used every tactic they could. They undercut prices, they tried to poach employees, they even spread rumors to suppliers. Our small business owner could have gotten into a tit-for-tat battle, could have tried to fight fire with fire. Instead, he got strategic. He realized that the larger companies' aggressive tactics were alienating a lot of people in the industry. So he positioned his company as the ethical alternative. He doubled down on customer service, on employee satisfaction, on community involvement. He turned every attack from the larger company into a chance to demonstrate his business's values. The result? Not only did he keep his business, but he thrived. Customers who were tired of the larger company's tactics flocked to him. Talented employees, attracted by the positive culture, sought him out. And eventually, the larger company's reputation took such a hit that they had to change their entire approach to the market. This is the power of strategic thinking. By taking the long view, by refusing to be drawn into petty battles, our small business owner didn't just survive an attack. He used it as a launching pad for unprecedented growth. This approach requires patience. In our instant gratification culture, we often want immediate results, but we want to see our enemies vanquished overnight. But true, lasting victory takes time. It's about planting seeds today that will grow into mighty oaks tomorrow. This patience is itself a powerful weapon. Your enemies, focused on short-term gains, will often make mistakes in their haste. They'll overextend themselves, burn bridges they may later need, make promises they can't keep. Meanwhile, you're steadily building, growing, improving. You're playing the long game, and in the long game, patience almost always wins. Throughout this talk, we've been using the term enemy, but I want you to understand that this is largely a mental construct. In reality, most people aren't your enemies. They're just people with their own goals, fears, and motivations that sometimes conflict with yours. Understanding this is crucial, because when you can see your enemies as human beings rather than cartoon villains, it opens up new possibilities for resolution. It allows you to empathize, to potentially find common ground, to transform rivalry into collaboration. This doesn't mean you become naive or let your guard down, but it does mean approaching conflicts with a spirit of curiosity rather than hostility. Ask yourself, what might driving this person's actions? What are they afraid of? What do they need? Often when you can answer these questions, you can find solutions that benefit everyone. I remember a case of two tech startups that were fierce competitors. They were constantly trying to outmaneuver each other, poaching talent, racing to patent similar technologies. It was a classic business rivalry. But then something interesting happened. The founders of these companies ended up seated next to each other at an industry conference. Instead of ignoring each other or engaging in corporate small talk, they actually had a real conversation. They discovered that while their companies were competing, their ultimate visions for the industry were quite similar. They both wanted to push the boundaries of what was possible, to create technologies that could genuinely improve people's lives. This realization led to a series of discussions and eventually a partnership. Instead of wasting resources fighting each other, they combined their strengths. The result was a level of innovation neither could have achieved alone. This story illustrates a profound truth. Often, our greatest enemies can become our most valuable allies. But this can only happen when we're willing to look beyond the surface to seek understanding rather than victory. The art of selective engagement. Not every provocation deserves a response. Not every challenge needs to be met head-on. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to simply not engage. This isn't about being passive or weak, and it's about being selective with your energy and attention. It's about understanding that every time you engage with an enemy, you're giving them power. You're allowing them to set the agenda, to dictate the terms of the interaction. By choosing not to engage, you deny them this power. You keep the focus on your goals, your priorities, your path forward. This can be incredibly frustrating for someone who's trying to provoke you. They're looking for a reaction, and when they don't get one, they're left flailing. But selective engagement doesn't mean never responding. It means choosing your battles wisely. It means engaging only when doing so clearly serves your larger goals. When you do engage, do so on your terms in a way that advances your agenda rather than reacting to theirs. This strategy requires a high level of self-awareness and discipline. It's easy to get pulled into every conflict, to feel like you need to defend yourself against every slight. But the most successful people, the true masters of destroying enemies without fighting, understand that their time and energy are precious resources. They invest these resources carefully, strategically. I'm reminded of a story about a successful CEO who was known for her unflappable demeanor. A journalist once asked her how she dealt with the constant criticism and attacks that came with her high-profile position. Her response was illuminating. She said, "I imagine my time and energy as a pie. Every time I engage with a critic or respond to an attack, I'm giving them a slice of that pie. I've realized that I'd rather use those slices to build my business, to serve my customers, to develop my team. So I've become very selective about who gets a slice." This CEO understood the power of selective engagement. She knew that by choosing not to fight every battle, she was preserving her energy for the things that truly mattered, and in doing so, she was rendering her enemies irrelevant. Let's move on to another crucial aspect of destroying your enemies without fighting: the power of excellence. Simply put, the best way to silence your critics is to be so good they can't ignore you. When you consistently deliver excellence, when you continually raise the bar in your field, you create a form of protection that no amount of enemy action can penetrate. When you're at the top of your game, delivering results that speak for themselves, what can your enemies really say? Their criticism falls flat in the face of your accomplishments. Their attempts to undermine you look petty and small compared to the value you're creating. This pursuit of excellence isn't about perfection. It's about consistent improvement, about always striving to be better today than you were yesterday. It's about setting standards for yourself that are higher than any your critics could impose on you. But excellence isn't just about skill or talent. It's also about character. It's about integrity, reliability, and the way you treat others. When you combine high performance with strong character, you create a reputation that becomes your shield and your sword. I once knew a salesperson who was the target of constant backbiting and jealousy from her colleagues. They spread rumors, tried to steal her clients, even sabotaged her presentations. But instead of fighting back, she doubled down on her work. She arrived earlier, stayed later, and most importantly, she focused on truly understanding and serving her clients' needs. Over time, something interesting happened. Her excellent work and impeccable character began to speak for themselves. Clients refused to work with anyone else. New team members sought her out as a mentor. Even some of her former critics began to come around, asking for advice and support. By focusing on excellence, she didn't just neutralize her enemies, she turned many of them into allies and admirers. That's the power of being so good they can't ignore you. Another powerful tool in your arsenal, the art of reframing. This is about changing the narrative, shifting the perspective from which a situation is viewed. When you master this skill, you can turn attacks into opportunities, criticism into fuel for growth. How it works. When faced with a challenge or an attack, most people accept the framing given to them. If someone calls them a failure, they try to prove they're not a failure. If someone says they can't do something, they focus on showing they can. But this reactive approach keeps you playing on your enemy's turf by their rules. Instead, reframe the situation entirely. If someone calls you a failure, don't defend against the label. Instead, talk about how every setback has taught you valuable lessons that have made you stronger. If someone says you can't do something, don't just try to prove them wrong. Instead, question whether that something is even worth doing, or if there might be a better goal to pursue. This reframing does two things. First, it puts you back in control of the narrative. You're no longer reacting. You're creating. Second, it often catches your opponents off guard. They're prepared for you to defend against their attack, not to change the conversation entirely. I remember a small tech company that was constantly being dismissed by larger competitors as just a bunch of kids playing with code. Instead of defensively trying to prove their maturity and experience, they embraced the label. They reframed their youth as a strength, positioning themselves as the fresh, innovative alternative to stodgy old tech giants. Their marketing campaigns playfully referenced their childlike curiosity and playground of ideas. The result, they attracted clients who were tired of the old way of doing things and were looking for fresh perspectives. They drew in young, hungry talent who wanted to work somewhere fun and dynamic, and they completely disarmed their critics, who found their barbs about youth and inexperience now falling flat or even backfiring. That's the power of reframing. It turns weaknesses into strengths, obstacles into opportunities. Master this skill, and you will find that many of your enemy's weapons simply cease to work. Move on to another crucial strategy, the power of alliance building. In the complex world we live in, no one succeeds entirely on their own. By forming strategic alliances, you can create a support system that makes you virtually unassailable. These alliances can take many forms. They might be formal business partnerships, informal networks of mutual support, or even just good relationships with key individuals in your field. The key is to approach these relationships with a mindset of mutual benefit. You're not looking for protectors or patrons. You're looking for partners. Areas where you are weak, where your enemies may try to attack, and look for allies who are strong in those areas. Maybe you're great at innovation but struggle with marketing. Find partners who excel at getting products in front of customers. Perhaps you have deep industry knowledge but lack capital. Seek out investors who bring not just money but valuable connections and expertise. But building alliances isn't just about filling your weak spots. It's also about amplifying your strengths. Look for partners whose capabilities complement yours, where working together creates something greater than the sum of its parts. I once knew an entrepreneur who was developing a revolutionary new medical device. She was brilliant at the technical aspects, but struggled with navigating regulatory approvals and scaling up production. Instead of trying to learn everything herself or hiring a huge team, she formed strategic alliances. She partnered with a regulatory consultant who knew the FDA process inside out. She allied with a manufacturer who was looking to break into the medical device market and was willing to invest in scaling up production. These alliances didn't just fill gaps in her capabilities. They created a robust ecosystem around her product that made it very difficult for competitors to challenge her. By the time larger medical device companies realized the threat she posed, she had already locked up key patents, regulatory approvals, and production capabilities. That's the power of alliance building. It doesn't just make you stronger. It can change the entire competitive landscape in your favor. A strategy that may seem counterintuitive, radical transparency. In a world where many people play their cards close to the chest, being open and transparent can be a powerful way to disarm your enemies. Why it works. Many of our enemies' most potent weapons rely on secrecy and speculation. They spread rumors because the truth isn't known. They make insinuations because there's room for doubt. They attack in the shadows because they don't want to be seen. By practicing radical transparency, you take away their shadows. You leave no room for rumor or speculation. You bring everything into the light where it can be seen clearly. This doesn't mean sharing every detail of your personal life or revealing trade secrets. It means being open about your motives, clear about your actions, and honest about your mistakes. It means inviting scrutiny because you have nothing to hide. I remember a CEO who took over a company that had been plagued by scandals and public distrust. Instead of hunkering down and trying to weather the storm, he took a radical approach. He started publishing detailed accounts of the company's efforts to address past issues. He invited independent auditors to examine their practices and publish their findings, warts and all. He started a blog where he candidly discussed the challenges the company was facing and his thoughts on how to address them. At first, this openness led to a flurry of negative press as all the company's dirty laundry was aired. But over time, something remarkable happened. The constant flow of information left little room for speculation or rumor mongering. Journalists found themselves reporting on the company's transformation efforts rather than digging for scandals, and customers began to return, drawn by the company's newfound commitment to honesty and transparency. By being radically transparent, this CEO had turned the company's biggest weakness, its damaged reputation, into a strength. He had disarmed critics by being more open and honest than they ever expected. The strategy of radical transparency isn't easy. It requires courage, consistency, and a thick skin. But when done right, it can be one of the most powerful ways to destroy your enemies without fighting. It turns their weapons of secrecy and innuendo against them, leaving them to deal with the harsh light of truth. In our fast-paced world, there's immense pressure to respond quickly, to always be doing something. But sometimes the most powerful move you can make is to wait. Strategic patience isn't about being passive. It's about understanding the rhythms of your industry, the cycles of public opinion, the ebb and flow of your opponent's energy. It's about knowing when to act and, just as importantly, when to hold back. Like surfing, a good surfer doesn't try to fight the ocean or create waves. They watch, they wait, and when the right wave comes, they ride it to shore. In the same way, by practicing strategic patience, you can conserve your energy and resources, waiting for the perfect moment to make your move. This patience can be particularly effective when dealing with aggressive enemies. Often, they'll exhaust themselves with constant attacks, burning bridges and alienating potential allies in their zeal to harm you. By remaining calm and patient, you position yourself to step in when they inevitably overreach. I'm reminded of a political leader who was the target of a relentless smear campaign. Every day brought new accusations, each more outlandish than the last. Many of her advisors urged her to fight back, to counter each claim immediately, but she chose a different path. She responded to the most serious allegations with clear, factual statements, but otherwise she largely held her peace. She focused on her work, on delivering results for her constituents, and she waited. Over time, the constant barrage of accusations began to lose its impact. People started to notice that while her opponents were slinging mud, she was solving problems. The contrast became clear, and when evidence emerged that many of the allegations were fabricated, public opinion shifted dramatically in her favor. By practicing strategic patience, this leader had allowed her enemies to discredit themselves. She hadn't won by fighting. She'd won by waiting for the right moment. I want to leave you with one final crucial idea: the importance of self-renewal. Dealing with enemies, even in these non-confrontational ways we've discussed, can be draining. It requires constant vigilance, emotional control, and strategic thinking. Over time, this can take a toll. That's why it's essential to have practices that renew your spirit, recharge your energy, and reconnect you with your purpose. This might be meditation, exercise, time in nature, or engaging in a hobby you love. The specific activity doesn't matter as much as its effect. It should leave you feeling refreshed, centered, and ready to face the world again. It's like sharpening a saw. You could keep sawing with a dull blade, working harder and harder to make each cut. Or you could take a break to sharpen the saw, making all your future work easier and more effective. In the context of dealing with enemies, this self-renewal serves another crucial purpose. It helps you maintain perspective. It reminds you that there's more to life than conflicts and competitions. It helps you stay connected to your values, your goals, your reason for doing what you do. This perspective is vital because ultimately the goal isn't just to neutralize your enemies, it's to create a life and a career that's so fulfilling, so impactful that the very idea of enemies becomes irrelevant. When you're truly operating at your highest level, focused on your purpose and making your unique contribution to the world, petty rivalries and conflicts fall away. The ultimate way to destroy your enemies without fighting isn't about them at all. It's about you. It's about becoming so focused, so effective, so fulfilled in your pursuits that negative influences simply can't touch you. It's about rising to a level where the very concept of enemies no longer has any meaning. I want you to imagine that version of yourself. Imagine being so secure in your capabilities, so clear in your purpose, so strong in your relationships that no attack can shake you. Imagine being so focused on creating value, on making a positive impact, that you don't have time or energy to worry about who's trying to undermine you. That version of you is within reach. By applying the strategies we've discussed, mastering your inner world, focusing on excellence, building alliances, practicing radical transparency, exercising strategic patience, and committing to self-renewal, you can get there. Remember, true victory isn't about defeating others. It's about becoming the best possible version of yourself. When you achieve that, you won't have destroyed your enemies. You will have transcended the very idea of having enemies at all. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go out there and change the world, not by fighting, but by rising above, by creating, by becoming the person you're truly meant to be. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have all the luck? Why do they achieve their goals with apparent ease while others struggle? The answer, my friends, is not luck. It's not a chance. It's not even talent. The answer lies in their mindset. A winner's mindset is not something you are born with. It's something you develop, nurture, and strengthen over time. It's a way of thinking that propels you forward, pushes you past obstacles, and drives you toward your goals with unstoppable momentum. So how do we develop this powerful mindset? Let's break it down step by step. The first and most crucial step in developing a winner's mindset is taking complete responsibility for your life. This means no more excuses, no more blame games, and no more pointing fingers at circumstances or other people. Winners understand that they are the authors of their own stories. They know that their choices, actions, and reactions shape their destiny. When you take 100% responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the master of your fate. Imagine for a moment that you are the CEO of your life. Every decision, every action, every thought is under your control. How would that change the way you approach your day? How would it impact your relationships, your career, your health? Taking responsibility means acknowledging that you have the power to change anything in your life that you are not satisfied with. It means understanding that if you don't like where you are, you have the ability to chart a new course. Remember, responsibility is not blame. It's not about beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's about empowering yourself to create the future you desire. Winners are driven by purpose. They have a clear vision of what they want to achieve, and they pursue it with relentless determination. Setting clear, compelling goals is like programming your internal GPS. It gives you direction, focus, and motivation. Your goals must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We call these SMART goals. Vague wishes like, I want to be successful or I want to be happy won't cut it. You need to define what success and happiness mean to you in concrete terms. For example, instead of saying, I want to be rich, a winner might set a goal like, I want to increase my income by 50 within the next 18 months by starting a side business in digital marketing. Write down your goals. Studies have shown that people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. There is something powerful about putting pen to paper. It makes your goals real, tangible. But don't stop there. Review your goals daily. Visualize yourself achieving them. Feel the emotions of success. This daily practice will program your subconscious mind for success and keep you motivated even when faced with challenges. Your self-image is the picture you have of yourself in your mind. It's your internal mirror, and it profoundly affects your performance in every area of your life. Winners have a positive self-image. They see themselves as capable, worthy, and deserving of success. How do you develop a positive self-image? It starts with your self-talk. The average person has about 50,000 thoughts a day, and for many people, the majority of these thoughts are negative. Winners consciously work on changing this pattern. Start by becoming aware of your self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, stop and replace that thought with a positive one. For example, if you find yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am constantly improving and growing. Use affirmations. These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself regularly. They might feel awkward at first, but with repetition, they can reshape your self-image. Some powerful affirmations include, I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. I am worthy of success and happiness. I'm constantly growing and improving. I turn challenges into opportunities. Remember, your mind believes what you tell it, most often. Feed it empowering thoughts and you will develop the self-image of a winner. Winners have a growth mindset. They believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. They see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, not as threats to be avoided. Make a commitment to lifelong learning. Read books, attend seminars, take courses. The most successful people in the world are voracious learners. They understand that knowledge is power and they constantly seek to expand their understanding. Set a goal to read at least one book a month in your field. Listen to educational podcasts during your commute. Attend workshops and conferences. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to think and grow. Remember, in today's rapidly changing world, if you are not growing, you're falling behind. Embrace the mindset of a lifelong learner and you will always stay ahead of the curve. Winners understand that setbacks and failures are not just inevitable. They're essential for growth. They don't let failures define them. They let failures refine them. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's the mental toughness that allows you to keep pushing forward when things get tough. And make no mistake, things will get tough. The road to success is never a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. So how do you develop resilience? First, change your perspective on failure. See it as feedback, not as a final verdict on your abilities. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to adjust your approach, to come back stronger. Develop a problem-solving mindset. When faced with a challenge, don't ask why me. Ask what can I learn from this and how can I use this to become stronger? Practice gratitude. Even in the toughest times, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, giving you the strength to persevere. Remember, it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. That's the essence of resilience, and it's a crucial component of a winner's mindset. Winners understand that time is their most valuable resource. They guard it jealously and use it wisely. They know that how they spend their time determines the quality of their life and the level of their success. Start by identifying your most important tasks, the ones that contribute most significantly to your goals. Focus on these tasks during your peak energy hours. For most people, this is in the morning. Use the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle states that 80 of your results come from 20 of your efforts. Identify that crucial 20 and prioritize it. Learn to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. Make sure you're saying yes to the things that align with your goals and values. Eliminate time wasters. Social media, excessive TV watching, pointless meetings. These can all drain your time and energy without contributing to your goals. Be ruthless in cutting out activities that don't serve your purpose. Remember, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's how you use those hours that makes the difference between average and extraordinary. Your attitude is like the aroma of your personality. It's the first thing people notice about you, and it can either attract or repel success. Winners cultivate a positive attitude, not because they're naive or ignore life's challenges, but because they understand the power of positivity. A positive attitude helps you see opportunities where others see obstacles. It gives you the energy to persevere when things get tough. It makes you more resilient, more creative, and more pleasant to be around. Positivity is a choice. It's not about ignoring negative emotions or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to focus on the good, on the possibilities, on what can be done rather than what can't. Start each day with gratitude. Before you get out of bed, think of 3 things you are grateful for. This simple practice can set a positive tone for your entire day. Look for the good in every situation. Even in the most challenging circumstances, there is usually a silver lining if you look hard enough. Train your mind to seek it out. Surround yourself with positive people. Attitudes are contagious. Make sure you are catching the right ones. are doers, not just dreamers. They understand that success is not about what you know, or even who you know. It's about what you do with what you know. The key is to take massive action. Don't just dip your toe in the water. Dive in headfirst. Go all in on your goals and dreams. Remember, imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. Don't wait for perfect conditions or for everything to be just right. Start where you are with what you have. Break your big goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. Then tackle these tasks with relentless determination. Make a commitment to do at least one thing every day that moves you closer to your goals. Develop the habit of taking immediate action on good ideas. When you have an insight or an inspiration, act on it immediately. This builds momentum and trains your mind to be action-oriented. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Winners understand this, and they actively seek out challenges that push them beyond their current limits. Every skill you've ever mastered, every achievement you're proud of, required you to step out of your comfort zone at some point. The more you do this, the more you expand your capabilities and your confidence. Make it a habit to do something every day that scares you a little. It could be speaking up in a meeting, trying a new workout, reaching out to someone you admire. The specific action doesn't matter as much as the act of pushing your boundaries. Remember, discomfort is temporary, but the growth and achievement that come from embracing it can last a lifetime. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. It's the foundation of a winner's mindset. Develop the habit of doing the hard things first. Tackle your most challenging tasks early in the day when your energy and willpower are at their peak. Use the 5-second rule. When you know you need to do something, count backwards from 5 to 1, then move. This simple technique can help you overcome procrastination and build momentum. Remember, motivation is fleeting, but discipline is reliable. Don't wait to feel motivated. Act and motivation will follow. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Winners understand the profound truth in this statement. They deliberately cultivate relationships with positive, ambitious, success-oriented people. Seek out mentors who have achieved what you want to achieve. Learn from their experiences, their successes, and their failures. A good mentor can save you years of trial and error. Join mastermind groups or create your own. These are groups of like-minded individuals who meet regularly to share ideas, offer support, and hold each other accountable. Attend networking events in your field. Build relationships with people who can inspire you, challenge you, and potentially open doors for you. Remember, success leaves clues. By surrounding yourself with successful people, you are exposing yourself to those clues on a daily basis. Winners understand that there are no shortcuts to success. They're willing to put in the hard work, the long hours, the sweat equity required to achieve their goals. Develop the habit of going the extra mile. Don't just meet expectations. Exceed them. Do more than you are paid for, and eventually you will be paid for more than you do. Embrace the grind. Understand that success is not about a single heroic effort, but about showing up day after day, putting in the work consistently even when you don't feel like it. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Your work ethic is entirely within your control, and it can be your greatest competitive advantage. Winners use the power of their imagination to create their future. They visualize their success in vivid detail, engaging all their senses. Spend time each day visualizing yourself achieving your goals. See yourself performing at your best, overcoming challenges, enjoying the fruits of your success. Make your visualizations as detailed and vivid as possible. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? The more real you can make it in your mind, the more your subconscious will work to make it a reality. Remember, your mind can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Use this to your advantage by regularly visualizing your success. In today's fast-paced world, the ability to adapt to change is crucial. Winners don't just cope with change, they embrace it. They see change as an opportunity for growth and innovation. Develop a flexible mindset. Be willing to adjust your plans and strategies as circumstances change. Remember, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent who survive, but those who are most adaptable to change. Stay ahead of the curve by constantly educating yourself about trends in your industry. Be proactive rather than reactive. Remember, change is the only constant in life. The more comfortable you become with change, the more successful you will be in the long run. Winners understand the power of being present in the moment. They practice mindfulness to enhance their focus, reduce stress, and make better decisions. Start with simple mindfulness exercises. Take a few minutes each day to focus on your breath. Notice the sensations in your body. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Apply mindfulness to your daily activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or working, try to give your full attention to the task at hand. Remember, the present moment is where life happens. The more you can anchor yourself in the present, the more effective and fulfilled you will be. Winners understand that success is not just about IQ, but also about EQE, emotional intelligence. They work on developing their ability to understand and manage their own emotions, as well as to empathize with others. Practice self-awareness. Learn to recognize your emotional triggers and patterns. Understanding your emotions is the first step to managing them effectively. Develop empathy. Try to see things from other people's perspectives. This will not only improve your relationships, but also make you a more effective leader and communicator. Remember, in many situations, how you handle your emotions is more important than your technical skills or knowledge. Winners don't fear failure. They see it as a stepping stone to success. They understand that every failure brings with it a lesson that can propel them forward. Change your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a negative outcome, see it as valuable feedback. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve? Celebrate your failures. They're proof that you are pushing your boundaries, taking risks, and growing. Remember, the only real failure is the failure to learn from your mistakes. Keep a failure resume. Document your failures, what you learned from them, how they have contributed to your growth. This can be a powerful tool for building resilience and maintaining perspective. Winners believe in their ability to develop their talents through hard work, good strategies, and input from others. This is what psychologists call a growth mindset. Challenge your fixed mindset thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good at this, add the word yet to the end of the sentence. I'm not good at this yet. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. Seek out feedback, even if it's uncomfortable. View criticism as valuable information that can help you improve. Remember, your abilities are not set in stone. With effort and the right strategies, you can develop and improve in any area you choose. Winners understand the power of gratitude. They know that focusing on what they're thankful for not only improves their mood, but also opens their eyes to new opportunities. Start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big things. A beautiful sunset, a kind word from a friend, a good cup of coffee can all be sources of gratitude. Express your appreciation to others. Let people know when you are grateful for something they have done. This not only spreads positivity, but also strengthens your relationship. Remember, gratitude and complaint cannot coexist. The more you practice gratitude, the less room there is for negativity in your life. This shift in focus can dramatically change your outlook and your results. Winners understand that ideas are worthless without execution. They have a bias for action, a tendency to act rather than overthink or procrastinate. Start small. If a task seems overwhelming, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Then take action on the first step immediately. Use the 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes to complete, do it right away. This builds momentum and prevents small tasks from piling up. Embrace imperfect action. Don't wait for perfect conditions or complete information. Start with what you have, where you are. You can always adjust course as you go. Remember, motion beats meditation. While planning and strategizing are important, they should never become excuses for inaction. In our fast-paced world, patience is becoming a rare virtue. But winners understand that great achievements often require time and persistence. Develop a long-term perspective. Understand that success is rarely overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. Practice delayed gratification. Be willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term gains. This ability is one of the strongest predictors of success in life. Use waiting time productively. Instead of getting frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like, use that time to learn, plan, or work on other aspects of your goals. Remember, patience is not passive waiting, it's active persistence. Winners understand that emotions are powerful forces that can either propel us forward or hold us back. They work on mastering their emotions rather than being mastered by them. Practice emotional awareness. Learn to recognize and name your emotions as they arise. This is the first step to managing them effectively. Develop strategies for managing difficult emotions. This might include deep breathing, physical exercise, or talking to a trusted friend. Harness the power of positive emotions. Learn to cultivate emotions like enthusiasm, curiosity, and determination. These can be powerful motivators in pursuing your goals. Remember, emotions are like waves. You can't stop them from coming, but you can choose which ones to surf. Winners have a relentless commitment to getting better. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, standing still is equivalent to moving backward. Adopt the Kaizen philosophy. This Japanese concept of continuous improvement encourages you to focus on small incremental changes that add up to significant improvements over time. Regularly audit your habits and routines. Are they serving your goals? If not, have the courage to change them. Seek feedback constantly. Ask your colleagues, friends, and mentors for honest input on your performance. Use this feedback to identify areas for improvement. Remember, the pursuit of excellence is a journey, not a destination. There's always room for improvement, always a way to do things better. In today's interconnected world, your personal brand can be one of your most valuable assets. Winners understand this and work consciously to cultivate a strong, positive personal brand. Define your unique value proposition. What makes you different? What special skills or perspectives do you bring to the table? Be consistent across all platforms, whether it's in person, on social media, or in your professional life. Present a consistent image and message. Deliver value consistently. Your brand is not just about what you say, but what you do. Consistently deliver high-quality work and treat people with respect. Remember, your personal brand is your promise to the world. Make it a promise worth keeping. Winners understand that money is a tool, not a goal. They work on developing financial intelligence to make their money work for them. Educate yourself about personal finance. Understand concepts like compound interest, diversification, and the time value of money. Live below your means. Cultivate the habit of spending less than you earn and investing the difference. Set financial goals. Whether it's building an emergency fund, saving for retirement, or achieving financial independence, having clear financial goals can guide your decisions. Remember, it's not about how much you make, but how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. In a world where automation is taking over routine tasks, creativity is becoming increasingly valuable. Winners understand this and work on cultivating their creative abilities. Practice divergent thinking. When faced with a problem, try to come up with multiple solutions rather than settling for the first one that comes to mind. Expose yourself to diverse experiences and ideas. Creativity often comes from connecting disparate concepts. The more varied your inputs, the more creative your outputs can be. Make time for play and experimentation. Creativity flourishes in a relaxed, playful state of mind. Remember, creativity is not a talent you are born with. It's a skill you can develop with practice. Winners understand that success in almost any field requires the ability to communicate effectively. They work on honing their communication skills continuously. Practice active listening. Focus on truly understanding what others are saying, rather than just waiting for your turn to speak. Develop your emotional intelligence. Learn to read nonverbal cues and to empathize with others' perspectives. Work on your public speaking skills. Whether it's presenting to a large audience or speaking up in a meeting, the ability to articulate your ideas clearly and confidently is invaluable. Remember, communication is not just about expressing yourself. It's about ensuring that your message is received and understood as intended. Winners have a zest for life. They're not content with staying in their comfort zones. They seek out new experiences and challenges. Try new things regularly. Whether it's a new hobby, a new cuisine, or a new travel destination, Novelty keeps life exciting and your mind sharp. Take calculated risks. Not reckless gambles, but thoughtful steps into the unknown that have the potential for significant rewards. Embrace uncertainty. Learn to be comfortable with not knowing all the answers. Some of life's greatest adventures start with a leap into the unknown. Remember, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. The more you push your boundaries, the more you will grow and achieve. Winners understand that their greatest asset is themselves. They prioritize self-care to ensure they're always performing at their best. Prioritize sleep. Quality sleep is crucial for cognitive function, emotional regulation, and overall health. Make it non-negotiable. Exercise regularly. Physical activity not only improves your health, but also boosts your mood, energy, and cognitive function. Nurture your relationships. Strong social connections are a key predictor of happiness and longevity. Make time for the people who matter most to you. Remember, self-care is not selfish. It's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. Winners understand that life is a series of choices. They take responsibility for their choices and use this power to shape their lives. Practice mindful decision-making. Remember, success is not an accident. It's the result of clear intention, hard work, and unwavering persistence. You have within you everything you need to develop a winner's mindset. The power is in your hands. The time to start is now. Take one idea from this speech and implement it in your life today, then another tomorrow, and another day after. Before you know it, you will have transformed your mindset and your life. You have greatness within you. It's time to let it shine. Go forth and conquer. The world is waiting for the unique contribution that only you can make. Embrace your power, cultivate your winner's mindset, and make your mark on the world. Your time is now. Seize it with both hands and never let go. Remember, in the grand game of life, you are not just a player. You are the player, the coach, and the cheerleader. You have the power to write your own story, to create your own destiny. So make it a story worth telling. Make it a life worth living. Weren't always born. They're made. Through dedication, through perseverance, through the relentless pursuit of their dreams, you have that power within you. Use it, embrace it. Become the winner you are always meant to be. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. Your future self will thank you for it. Today, we stand at the threshold of an exciting adventure, not into the unknown, but deep into the core of our most known selves. We are here to unravel the power and absolute necessity of personal development, a journey not measured in miles or years, but in wisdom, growth, and fulfillment. Now let me ask you, what does it mean to develop yourself to your best? It's a question that might seem straightforward at first glance, but when we pause and truly consider it, the depth of its meaning begins to unfold. It's not just about achieving success in our careers, accumulating wealth, or even mastering new skills. Though these are undoubtedly valuable pursuits, it's about something more profound, more enduring. It's about tapping into our latent potential, challenging our boundaries, and rising above the ordinary to embrace an extraordinary life defined by our highest aspirations and dreams. Developing yourself to your best is about becoming the architect of your destiny, sculpting your character, capabilities, and course in life with intention and purpose. It's about growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient in the face of challenges, and more compassionate, understanding, and supportive in the presence of others' struggles. It invites us to ask ourselves, am I living my life in a way that brings out my highest potential, or am I merely existing? As we dive into this topic today, let's embark on a collective quest to uncover the essence of personal development and the transformative power it holds. Let's explore how we can each embark on this vital journey, not just as solitary travelers, but as a supportive community, encouraging and inspiring one another to reach heights we might once have thought unattainable. Today, I want to talk about something that lies at the very heart of success: fulfillment and happiness. I'm here to talk about the power and necessity of personal development. Now let me pose a thought-provoking question. What does it mean to develop yourself to your best? Is it about acquiring new skills, expanding your knowledge, or perhaps improving your financial status? While all these aspects are important, developing yourself to your best transcends beyond mere external achievements. It's about cultivating a mindset geared towards continuous growth, embracing change, and relentlessly pursuing excellence in every facet of your life. Imagine for a moment a version of yourself free from the constraints of past mistakes, unfazed by the fear of the unknown, and unbound by the limits society often places on us. This version of you is not a distant reality, but a possibility that awaits at the threshold of personal development. It's about becoming the architect of your future, where every day presents a new canvas to paint your masterpiece. Now let's dive into the significance of constantly striving for personal improvement. The journey towards personal growth is not a race, but a marathon, a continuous quest that unfolds with every step we take. The beauty of personal development lies in its transformative power, how it molds us into better versions of ourselves, bit by bit, day by day. It's about recognizing that we are works in progress and that every day presents an opportunity. Let me share a story that beautifully illustrates this point. There was once a young man who aspired to become a renowned artist. Day and night, he toiled, perfecting his craft, yet he felt something was missing. One day, an accomplished painter visited his studio and observed his work. The young artist eagerly asked for feedback, hoping for praise. Instead, the experienced painter pointed out several areas for improvement. Initially disheartened, the young man decided to view the feedback as a gift, a roadmap towards excellence. He dedicated himself to refining his skills, focusing on one area at a time. Years later, his art adorned the walls of galleries worldwide, a testament to the power of incremental improvements. This story serves as a powerful reminder that greatness is not achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent effort, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth. Each one of us holds within an untapped reservoir of potential waiting to be unleashed. The path ahead is filled with endless possibilities, and the pursuit of personal development is the key that unlocks the door to these opportunities. As we embark on this journey together, I encourage you to reflect on your potential, to dream big, and to view every challenge as a stepping stone towards your ultimate goal. Remember, the pursuit of personal development is not just about reaching a destination, but about enjoying the journey, savoring each moment of growth, and embracing the person you become along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, as we delve deeper into the essence of personal growth, let us keep in mind that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that step, taken today, can lead you to unimaginable heights tomorrow. Let's embrace the journey of personal development, for in it lies the key to unlocking our... Now, I want to turn our attention inward to the vast landscapes of our own potential. You see, within each of us lies a treasure trove of unique talents, strengths, and capabilities, many of which remain untapped like undiscovered veins of gold beneath the Earth's surface. The question I pose to you today is, have you truly explored the depths of your potential? Or better yet, do you believe in the boundless possibilities that lie within you? Let me share with you a story that beautifully underscores the idea that it's never too late to discover and harness your potential. This is the story of a woman named Susan. For most of her life, Susan worked in various administrative roles. She was good at her job, reliable, yet she always felt that something was missing. Deep down, she harbored a love for painting, a passion she had set aside since her youth, considering it an impractical pursuit. Years went by, and the voice inside her, the one urging her to pick up the brush again, grew louder. Finally, at the age of 52, after watching an inspiring documentary on late bloomers, Susan decided to enroll in a local art class. She felt out of place at first, surrounded by younger, seemingly more talented students. But she persisted, driven by a newfound purpose. Susan's journey was not without its challenges. She battled self-doubt, criticism, and the daunting task of balancing her job with her passion. Yet, with each stroke of the brush, she felt more alive, more herself than she had in years. Her dedication paid off. Slowly but surely, her skills improved. Her paintings began to attract attention, first from her classmates, then from her instructors, and eventually from the local community. 3 years after she first dared to rekindle her passion, Susan held her first solo art exhibition. It was a modest affair, but to her, it represented something monumental, a testament to the untapped potential that had lain dormant within her for so long. Susan's story is a powerful reminder that our potential does not wane with age. It does not diminish with the passing of time. Rather, it waits patiently for us to seize it, to nurture it, and to let it flourish. Each of us has our own painting waiting to be brought to life, our own unique contribution that can make the world a richer place. So I ask you, what is your painting? What talents and dreams have you pushed aside? Remember, the realization of your potential is limited only by your willingness to pursue it. The key lies in taking that first step, in believing that it is never too late to change course and embrace the person you were meant to become. Let Susan's story inspire you. Let it be a reminder that no matter where you are in life, your potential is waiting to be unlocked. The journey to discovering and realizing your potential may not be easy. It will require courage, perseverance, and resilience. But I promise you it will be worth it. In our exploration of reaching our fullest potential, let's talk about an essential tool in our arsenal, one that acts as the compass guiding us through the vast seas of opportunity and challenge alike. This tool, my friends, is the art of setting goals, the very blueprint of success that each of us can design. Imagine for a moment embarking on a road trip without a map or a destination in mind. You might enjoy the freedom of the open road for a while, but soon you'd likely find yourself wandering aimlessly, wasting precious time and fuel. Your life, as on the road, having a destination, a clear and compelling goal, is what gives our journey direction, purpose, and meaning. Now let's delve into how we can set these goals effectively. You've probably heard of the SMART criteria, a simple yet powerful framework that ensures our goals are clear, measurable, and achievable. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it. First, be specific. Your goal should be as clear as a bell. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, define what success looks like to you. Is it starting your own business, writing a book, or perhaps running a marathon? Second, ensure it's measurable. How will you know when you've achieved your goal? If your aim is to improve your health, set a measurable goal, such as losing a certain number of pounds or running a specific distance. Third, your goal must be achievable. It should stretch you, but remain within the realm of possibility. Dream big, but stay grounded in reality. Fourth, make sure it's relevant. Your goal should align with your values and long-term objectives. It should feel important to you, filling you with a sense of purpose and excitement. Lastly, it must be time-bound. Set a deadline. This creates a sense of urgency, propelling you forward and keeping procrastination at bay. To illustrate the power of goal setting, let me share the story of Catherine, a young woman who dreamed of becoming an astronaut. From a young age, Catherine set her sights on the stars. She understood the importance of setting clear, achievable goals. She broke down her monumental dream into smaller, manageable objectives, excelling in her studies, earning a degree in aerospace engineering, and gaining experience in the aviation industry. Each goal was a stepping stone, bringing her closer to her ultimate dream. Years of hard work, determination, and relentless pursuit of her goals paid off when Catherine was selected for astronaut training. Today, she's a symbol of what's possible when we dare to dream big and meticulously chart the course to make those dreams a reality. Catherine's story, like many others who have achieved remarkable success, underscores the transformative power of setting goals. It reminds us that our dreams, no matter how lofty, can be broken down into a series of steps, a blueprint that guides us from where we are to where we aspire to be. So I challenge you today to think about your own blueprint for success. What goals will you set for yourself? How will you ensure they guide you towards the life you've always dreamed of? Remember, the act of setting a goal is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. It's the first stroke of paint on the canvas of your life. The first note in the symphony of your greatest achievements. Set your goals with intention. Follow them with passion, and let them be the beacons that light your way to greatness. In the symphony of our aspirations, persistence plays a melody so profound that its echoes can be heard in the hallways of history, in stories of triumph that remind us of the boundless power of the human spirit. It's the force that pushes us to stand up. One more time when we've been knocked down, the whisper that encourages us to take one more step when the path seems insurmountable. The role of persistence in personal development cannot be overstated. It is the bridge between setbacks and success, the ingredient that turns ordinary individuals into legends. Consider for a moment the story of Michael, a young athlete with dreams of becoming a world champion. Michael's journey was anything but easy. He faced not just the physical challenges of his sport, but financial difficulties that almost ended his career before it began. Injury after injury seemed to conspire against him, each one a voice telling him to give up, to accept that maybe his dreams were just that, dreams. But Michael chose a different path. He chose to listen to the voice of persistence, the one that told him, your story isn't over yet. Every morning, Michael woke up with a single purpose: to be better than he was the day before. He trained relentlessly, using each failure as a lesson, each setback as a stepping stone. His persistence paid off when, against all odds, he won his first national championship. That victory was more than a medal. It was proof that persistence could turn even the most distant dreams into reality. Michael's story is not unique. History is replete with tales of individuals who faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles but never gave up. These stories teach us an invaluable lesson. Failures are not roadblocks but stepping stones. Each one is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. Now you might wonder, how can we cultivate this indomitable spirit of persistence? The first step is to redefine our relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a signal to stop, view it as a sign that you're pushing the boundaries of your abilities, that you're truly striving toward your potential. Remember, the road to success is paved with failures. Each one is a testament to your courage to pursue your dreams. The other key is to break your journey into smaller, manageable goals. Persistence is easier to maintain when you can see progress, however small. Celebrate each achievement, each step forward, as a victory in its own right. These small wins will fuel your motivation and reinforce your commitment to your larger vision. Let me leave you with a thought. Persistence is not just about the capacity to endure, it's about having the courage to begin again, smarter and stronger than before. It's about believing in your dreams, even when they seem out of reach. It's about holding on to hope, even in the face of despair. So to everyone listening, I say this: embrace persistence as your companion on the journey of personal development. Let it guide you through the darkest nights and into the dawn of your greatest achievements. Remember, it's not the swiftness of the journey that matters, but the resolve to continue, the determination to never give up. In persistence lies the power to transform your dreams into your destiny. Let us all strive to embody this virtue, for in it lies the key to unlocking our fullest. In this ever-evolving tapestry of life, change is not just inevitable. It's the wind beneath the wings of growth and development. It's the architect of character and the molder of destinies. The importance of being adaptable in the face of change cannot be overstressed. It's the quality that allows us to navigate the turbulent waters of life, to turn challenges into opportunities, and to emerge from the crucible of experience, not just unscathed but fortified. Imagine, if you will, standing on the shores of your life, watching the waves of change roll in. You could either fear the tide, retreating further inland, or you could learn to surf, to ride the waves of change to new and uncharted territories of your potential. Embracing change is not merely about survival. It's about thriving. It's about recognizing that each wave brings with it the seeds of growth and the promise of new beginnings. Consider the story of Elizabeth, a seasoned executive at a leading technology firm. For years, she thrived in the stability and predictability of her role. But the winds of change began to stir. The industry evolved rapidly, and suddenly, Elizabeth found herself facing technologies and strategies that were alien to her years of experience. The comfort zone she had built was no longer a fortress, but a cage. Instead of resisting the change, Elizabeth embraced it. She embarked on a journey of learning, not just to acquaint herself with the new technologies, but to master them. She attended workshops, sought mentorship, and dedicated herself to personal development. Her adaptability became her strength, transforming her from a seasoned executive to a visionary leader capable of steering her company into the future. Elizabeth's story underscores a vital truth. Embracing change is crucial for growth and development. It requires us to be flexible, to let go of outdated beliefs and practices, and to open ourselves to new experiences and ideas. In this journey we call life, where the landscape constantly shifts beneath our feet, there's one beacon that guides us toward the pinnacle of personal excellence: lifelong learning. It's not merely an activity or a pastime. It's the very essence of growth, the fuel that propels us towards realizing our fullest potential. The importance of continuous learning in achieving personal excellence cannot be overstated. It is the cornerstone upon which the edifice of personal and professional success is built. Let's talk about cultivating a growth mindset, an essential ingredient in the recipe for lifelong learning. A growth mindset is the belief that our basic qualities are things we can cultivate through our efforts. Unlike a fixed mindset, which sees talent and intelligence as static traits, a growth mindset thrives on challenge and sees failure not as evidence of unintelligence, but as a heartening springboard for growth and for stretching our existing abilities. But how do we cultivate this mindset? It begins with staying curious, with fostering an insatiable desire to know more today than we knew yesterday, and even more tomorrow. It's about looking at the world around us with wonder and asking why, or why not, with the eagerness of a child. This curiosity becomes the driving force that keeps us engaged in the process of learning, pushing us to explore new horizons and to challenge the boundaries of our understanding. Continuing our discourse on the transformative power of continuous learning and improvement, it's imperative we delve deeper into the mechanics of weaving this principle into the very fabric of our daily lives. This journey, rich with the potential for personal evolution, challenges us to transcend the ordinary, to scale the heights of our own untapped potential. Imagine embarking on this path not as a solitary quest, but as an adventure shared with like-minded souls, each step illuminated by the light of knowledge and the joy of discovery. The road to self-improvement is paved with the stories of those who dared to dream, to challenge the status quo, and to redefine the boundaries of possibility. Among these tales, one finds a common thread: a steadfast commitment to pushing beyond comfort zones, to learning and relearning amidst the ebb and flow of life's tides. Consider the story of Anna, a middle-aged professional who found herself at a crossroads. The world around her was changing rapidly, and she felt left behind, her skills becoming less relevant in the fast-paced digital age. The specter of obsolescence loomed large, a stark reminder of the relentless march of progress. But Anna chose not to succumb to fear or resignation. Instead, she embraced the challenge, viewing it as an opportunity to reinvent. Anna's journey was not without its hurdles. She grappled with self-doubt, with the daunting task of balancing work, family, and her educational pursuits. Yet, her resolve did not waver. She enrolled in online courses, dedicating her evenings to study, her weekends to workshops and seminars. Each module completed, each certificate earned, was a testament to her determination, a step closer to her goal. But Anna's story is more than a tale of personal triumph. It is a blueprint for us all, a reminder that learning is a lifelong endeavor, one that requires not just dedication, but also a strategy. Incorporating learning into our daily routines demands more than just the allocation of time. It requires a shift in mindset, a reevaluation of priorities, and, most importantly, a commitment to action. To truly embrace continuous learning, we must cultivate habits that foster growth and development. It begins with setting aside time for reflection, for introspection, to assess where we are and where we wish to go. This reflective practice allows us to identify the areas in our lives and careers that necessitate improvement, to set clear, actionable goals for our learning journey. Moreover, integrating learning into our lives entails a conscious effort to seek out opportunities. It means being proactive, attending seminars, workshops, and conferences, not merely as passive participants, but as active learners eager to absorb, question, and apply the knowledge gained. Yet the pursuit of learning extends beyond formal education. It encompasses the wealth of experiences that life offers, each encounter, each challenge, a lesson in disguise. It is about being open to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and being willing to challenge our preconceptions. This openness to experience is the hallmark of a true lifelong learner, one who views every moment as an opportunity to grow. Furthermore, embracing change and adaptability, as discussed earlier, is integral to this journey. The world we inhabit is a kaleidoscope of change, each shift, each turn presenting new challenges and opportunities. And to thrive in this ever-changing landscape, we must be willing to adapt, to evolve. This adaptability is not innate. It is cultivated through a commitment to continuous learning, to staying relevant, and to anticipating the needs of the future. As we navigate the path of personal development, it is crucial to remember that we are not alone. The journey is shared with mentors, with peers, and with the countless individuals who have walked this path before us. Their wisdom, their experiences, serve as beacons, guiding us through the fog of uncertainty.
Cities can leverage the collective expertise, resources, and creativity of diverse stakeholders to address complex environmental challenges and create more resilient, sustainable, and equitable urban environments.
Versions of ourselves, a step toward a future bright with promise and limitless potential.